What's up?
Hi,
Who are you?
I'm Devin, or I go by Dev. I live in Utah and I'm a wedding videographer.
How do you like it here in Utah?
Um,
Are we gonna get into it? Are we about to get into
this
it?
soon? I would say the first half living here, I really didn't enjoy it, but now I'm starting to find the positive being here. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Real quick, what's one of the positives of living in Utah?
I think just finding my place and the friends that I have developed here have been good for me.
Okay.
So, yeah,
How important is family to you?
I would say it's very important.
Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Have you felt here in Utah the importance of like the overall family aspect here?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you give me some examples?
I feel like so. I feel like in Utah it's very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
You're very encouraged to get married young and start a family, and obviously, like in the LDS Church, it's very important for kids to go on a mission very young,
Mm-hmm.
just so they can pass those blessings down to like their kids eventually. And I feel like just coming here versus like what I had back home, it's very different.
Yeah.
Just like how people raise their kids and how, um, like just like the lifestyle, because like definitely like what my family has done, like there's like not here in Utah, like I guess.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're all very like nice and very like, I feel like they're just like very understanding of each other.
Is it ever okay to cut off family?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, man, we asked the hard questions here out of TikTok.
That's so hard because with my family, we definitely had to cut off some people like in my own intermediate family.
Like legit family, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's hard. It's not easy because then they feel like they can't come back. But I feel like it really depends on like the family dynamic.
Devin, what's your mix?
What's my mix? So I'm black.
Not this mix, okay? Because we know we don't mix. Or do you mix?
I do. I have.
I'm talking about
fun.
kava.
Yeah.
You know how to mix? Oh, so you're Poly.
No.
You're not Polynesian?
I'm not Polynesian.
Oh, we
no.
look like cousins. So I mean, like I thought you were Polynesian. What's your
No.
mix?
So I'm black and white, Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Brazilian.
Oh, so you're everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I thought you would have had like a Hispanic last name
No.
or whatever.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm adopted, so.
Oh, you're adopted.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. That makes
So I got
more
a really
sense.
white last name.
Oh, okay, awesome. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So you are adopted. Question: were you adopted into the Mormon family?
Yes, I was
What age?
very young. So I was adopted literally like when I was 2 days old,
Oh,
and
wow.
then officially like into the family when I was like 2. So I've been with my family like my whole life for 25 years.
Wait, that means are you sealed to your adopted family?
Yeah.
Can I ask you, how was that experience and how do you feel? Because, okay, like, I don't want to I don't want to like bring this up and whatever, but
Yeah.
obviously that's not your biological family.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. That's just factuals. But for us in the LDS church, we do these things called sealings, right? So how do you kind of, what are your feelings about being, first of all, I want to hear how you felt when you were sealed to your non-biological family and how you feel now.
Yeah. Okay, well, I was really young when I was sealed, so I don't really remember it that much. But growing up now, I'm very grateful because the family that I do have now, like I'm blessed. Because I feel like without being born into the LDS culture, I feel like my life would have just been on like a really rocky path.
There's people who get adopted into their families, their Mormon families later on in life,
Yeah.
maybe a little older, who can remember and stuff. So I would get, if I was to guess, sometimes they might have some hard times identifying themselves with a family, especially if they're not from the same ethnic background.
Yeah.
So talk to some people real quick that are adopted into a Mormon family. What's some words of encouragement for them based on your personal experience?
My personal experience, I feel like really hasn't been that bad. Obviously, there has been some stuff growing up, like elementary school. Kids can be really mean, just saying like that's not your real sister. You guys look nothing alike. Just being like how kids are.
Yep, yeah, I get it.
And growing up, that really did hit me a little while because I was just like, that's all I can think about is like, oh, like we're not related. Like I'm like obviously we're not the same skin color and stuff like that. But as I got older, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love my family. I've known them my whole life. So like that's like of course like if I like you can make fun of me for like being adopted. Like I don't care.
Sure.
Like my parents chose me. Like I feel like that's like an amazing thing.
So you're a church girl then.
Yes. Yeah.
And what church do you go to?
What's my what?
What church do you belong to?
The LDS Church, Latter-day Saints.
So do you like being a Latter-day Saint?
I do, yeah. I've grown to love it.
Grown to love it.
Yeah.
Was that grown to love it? So that means you didn't like it at one point, or
Um,
what do you mean?
I was just like inactive for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I knew my life without God, and now I know my life with God. So I can see like the difference and like why I love it.
So you have been inactive before,
Mhm.
and you've seen your life then and how it is now that
Mhm.
you're on your journey with Christ again or whatever for how
Mhm.
long it's been. Did you have more fun when you were inactive, or did you have more fun right now as you're trying to get back to church?
I would say I had more fun when I was inactive because I was thinking only of
Okay.
myself and living for myself. And obviously, those things can make you happy, but it's not eternal happiness. It's very worldly and very temporary. And with that brings a lot of just like doubt and like a lot of just like puts you in a dark place because it definitely did make me like depressed for a little while.
No, like what made you depressed exactly?
Just like living for the world. No one really knows this about myself because I just keep my life very private. I always say like I'm an open book, but I'm very private.
Very
Yeah.
similar, yes.
Even my like I don't think my family knows this either, so it's kind of just like scary to talk about it. And like my
Oh,
friends don't
wow.
know either. Like
Okay.
it's just very,
Sure.
you know. But I would go out like the clubs and the bars and drink and get high and like do things with guys that I wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
And that's what I mean, like living for the world. And I'm not saying that's bad in any sense, but for what I wanted and what I wanted to accomplish for my future, that wasn't going to get me there. And knowing me, I'm a very I'm a very empathetic person.
Okay.
So things that like make me really sad, like I will just like think about that like all the time. It's very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But so thanks for being open and
Mhm.
vulnerable. But I'm just a little confused. So, but you said those things that you were doing wasn't what you wanted out of life, or what wouldn't get you where you wanted to go. How do you know where you wanted to go? Like, how do you know that down that path it wasn't going to lead you to happiness?
Just in a sense, I've always like known what I was like, kind of what I wanted in life, and just the lifestyle that I was like choosing
Okay.
would have led me down to like a deeper path.
Interesting.
That
But you
makes
said
sense.
that lifestyle was more fun though.
Yes, it was fun, but it was temporary. Like it wasn't gonna make me happy in the long
In
run.
the long run,
Yeah.
got it. Okay. Do you regret your lifestyle choices back then?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
Even though you knew you were doing some bad stuff,
Yeah.
why don't you regret it?
Because I'm a firm believer that your mistakes shape who you are today and grows your testimony. So no, I don't regret anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
No regrets, huh?
No regrets.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What's your favorite part about being Mormon?
I think the confidence I get from it, knowing that we have like a savior who's constant, even when we aren't constant.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you steal that line from? Where'd you steal that from?
My
Who'd you steal that
dreams.
from? You, what?
My dreams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, like it is so true though. Like I just love the gospel and the savior. Yeah.
Wow. What's the worst part about being Mormon?
The worst part.
What is the worst part about being LDS?
I think I would say the world, like the world opinions, like the opinions that we get from like the outsiders, I would say.
Okay. Like, what's some of the opinions you
I
get?
don't know, just like the stupid things like,
Yeah, tell me the stupid things.
oh, like you guys can't like drink coffee or get tattoos. Like you guys can't wear this or that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're Mormon, so you don't have tattoos, right?
I have 3.
You have tattoos.
Yeah,
But I thought you said you're a Mormon.
I am Mormon.
So who's right and who's wrong? Can you be Mormon and still have tattoos or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a stupid thing that we've already talked about. Well, what else do they say about our church?
I don't know, just like all the whole like, it's so stupid. Like, that sounds so dumb. But, like the soaking and like, obviously I'm not white, of course, but like how blacks couldn't have like the priesthoods and like how.
Does that bother you?
No.
It doesn't. Wait, sorry. It doesn't bother you that blacks couldn't have the priesthood back in the day?
No.
Why doesn't it bother you?
Because it didn't like ever affect me. And I feel like obviously things in the past, like if you like look at it like this, like a lot of white people weren't nice to black people back in the day, obviously.
day.
So you can't hate on something that was like going on like before we were born. Like I'm not gonna hate the church because they didn't accept blacks or they couldn't have like the priesthood.
Wow, really? Because
Yeah.
that's a pretty big stain on our history of the church. But Devin is not. You, as a black woman in the church, you're not holding the church or you don't have any animosity towards the church, how they treated them in the back in that time?
No.
Why not?
Just because if you saw how the world treated us, would you have animosity for them as well? No. And I know it's a very hot topic, and I know that's like a very big thing.
But for you personally, it doesn't affect you.
No.
You're still ride or die. You still love what you love.
It's about the gospel and how I feel with like Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think we are providing a fresh perspective, a fresh take on what it means to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
I would say so, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of perspectives.
Do you think it's bad that we're open-minded?
No. I think it's very good.
Well, you know our church is like fundamentally, that's a word. You know that we're fundamentally very traditional and orthodox as Mormons. You know, that's what the church we grew up in. Do you think it's okay that we're a little bit open-minded and that we're able to have these conversations?
I believe so, yeah.
Do you think it's needed?
100%, yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like sometimes people would have like the pressure of trying to be like a perfect Mormon, you know? And I feel like having these perspectives, they can be like, okay, they're thinking the same way that I am, and it's okay.
What can we do as members when something comes up in the church, whether it's Joseph Smith, whether it's something that you don't really quite understand, instead of quitting and leaving, what can we do to stay?
I think really holding on to like our testimonies. Yeah. Because that's one thing that remained constant when I was like inactive was like my faith and my love for my Savior, and just the feelings that I got when I didn't have him by my side versus him on my side, and how I felt. Like the difference was like really crazy. So I think like our testimonies can be our backbone.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that. Where is your boyfriend?
I don't have one. Yeah.
You're single?
I'm very single.
Here in Utah.
Yes.
Is that by choice?
Now it is, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Devin, what is the problem with dating in Utah?
I feel like there's so many problems with dating in Utah. I feel like people want to date without putting a label on it. So if one person wants to date someone else, the other person can't get mad because there was no label. And it's the constant, like, what are we? And the guy's always like, oh, I got commitment issues. Like, I don't know. Also vice versa. Like, it goes both ways. We're female and male.
Yeah.
But I feel like here, at least with my experience, I feel like the girls do want to get married. But it's always, like, the emotionally, unavailable men. Because the amount of times I've had guys, like...
Who hurt you? Okay. The amount of times you have guys what? Sorry, keep going.
The amount of times I've had, like, guys just, like, hit me up and, like, want to pursue something. And then end up just, like switching is so crazy. And I'm like, where does this come from? Like, why? I thought you, like, wanted something with me. And then they just always say, like, oh, like, just God told me no, or, like...
They pulled the God on you? They pulled the God card on you?
Yes, so stupid.
Do you believe it?
I've had
you think I... Oh, sorry.
No, I had this one guy...
Wait,
right?
oh, yeah, tell me this.
And everything was going so good. He was, like, very into me, so I thought, but he was just, like, very flirtatious and very fun. And then he was just like, I got committed. It's you. I'm kidding.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
No, anyway. But no, it was going really well, okay? But he was an RM. So that was wild.
Oh,
and
wow.
And so he pulled the card. He was like, I really want to date you right now, but God's telling me no. And he was crying. And I was like, bro, get over yourself.
What? Poor guy. He's crying to you? Wait, okay, so do you think that was BS or no?
I think it was BS.
Really?
And I made a TikTok about it, and then his, like, sister-in-law sent it to him, and was like, yo, that TikTok that you made. I'm like, okay, come on.
That's
He
hilarious.
lied a lot about, like, a lot of things, too. Like, so he was a pathological liar, so.
Ooh.
I just felt like he just wasn't being serious. And pulling the God card, if you actually did, good for you, but if that's, like, an easy cop-out, I'm like...
When it comes to the dating pool in Utah, are you in the minority or the majority?
Ooh, the minority.
And why are you in the minority?
Just look at me.
Just look at me. Like...
I'm not the beauty standard for Utah, which is so stupid that there is a beauty standard or so said a beauty standard.
So this beauty standard you're talking about, has that affected your dating scene?
I would feel like 50-50. I feel like yes. And then
why is it yes?
Because I feel like... I don't know, because I feel like the type out here, like the typical type for a man is just like what they know growing up with is the blonde.
Come on, girl, be honest. Yeah. Be honest. Come on, just throw it out there. What's the normal type?
Blonde, blue eyes, and white.
And you are the exact
I'm
opposite.
very opposite.
Okay.
Brown eyes, brown hair, curly hair. So it's just like completely opposite. And then I feel like the other half is like no, because I feel like it's them and not me. So
So you're never the problem then, is what I'm hearing.
I hope not. I don't know, because like it's just so weird. And sometimes I feel like family could also play into it as well.
Do you understand why we have the word of wisdom though?
Oh, 100%.
Why do we have it?
To keep us healthy.
So you've drinking before, obviously, no judgment once again, but like, what can you tell somebody like the reason why we don't drink alcohol, why we don't drink these things? You know what I mean? What is the purpose
It's
of it?
just to sustain a more healthier lifestyle. Because if you drink alcohol, it could eventually lead you to be like an alcoholic, and it's bad for your liver. Like it's just really unhealthy.
So there's like two aspects. There's the physical aspect, and then there's the spiritual aspect, right? It's like a fact that drinking these kind of substances, they will be bad for you, like legit.
Yeah.
Like we're not just saying that as
Even
Mormons.
if like you're religious or not, like alcohol is just like bad for you.
That's what I'm
it's
trying to
literally
say.
poison.
So why is it bad? Why do people make fun of us that we don't drink alcohol, we don't drink coffee, we don't smoke, right? We try to stay away from coffee and tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. They've done some weird stuff.
Yeah. So is that bad though?
No, and I feel like obviously there's so many reasons for the use of alcohol, but I feel like when you're going out to like drink and stuff like that, it's just to like lose a sense of yourself, so like you're more loose in a way. So you don't really have like full agency of like your mind. You're just on the influence of alcohol. And that's so bad. I don't know.
Okay.
Again, I lived it. Nothing wrong with it if you do, but if you're trying to live a more Christ-like life, then it's not obviously good for you.
Got it.
You know? I think it's so weird too that you say that, because nowhere else is it said that we couldn't get like cosmetic work done. That is changing our body, shifting our body. Not saying that's wrong, but it's just like, why is it okay for us to like make changes to our body that could be detrimental in the future, rather than like getting tattoos and drinking? Like, I think that's so wild.
It's
like,
wild, right? Yeah.
Like girls can get like tattooed lip stains and like tattooed eyebrows.
What is the thing called? Is it Botox?
Botox,
Facelift,
and fillers, and
fillers. Isn't that altering your temple? Right, your body's a temple, right?
Yeah, it could be.
But is that against the church?
No.
It's not anywhere written, as far as I'm concerned, right?
If it was, then I would love to see it. But
Same, me too.
No, it's not written anywhere.
See, these are just things that are interesting to us as LDS people.
Yeah,
you know
I just
what
always
mean?
thought that. Like, because I don't know, the conversations would come up with like my mom sometimes, and I was just always like curious.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing that.
5, 6, 7.
Oh, are
8,
you?
9.
Are you? There's one on this one too, right? Or no?
Am I cuffed?
Yeah. Are you cuffed? You married?
No, I used to be though. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I
Sorry.
used to be married.
And now you're not?
I'm not anymore.
Oh, so you are divorced then?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask you about that a little bit?
Yeah.
There's a big stigma around the church if you get divorced as a member. Can I ask you, were you guys sealed in the temple, stuff like that?
We were not sealed in the temple because when we got married, it was during COVID.
Got
the
it.
temples were closed down. But we were planning on getting sealed once they opened up, and we can have like our family, because we don't want to pick and choose who can be there. So
okay. So, but you guys were civilly married.
Yeah.
Okay, for how long?
I believe 3 years. It's so like spaced out for me, because I just don't really remember that much in my marriage, like how long we were married for and stuff like that.
It.
Yeah. It's wild.
All right. No, that's well. Thanks for being open and and like sharing, because you know that the divorce epidemic. Can I say that? No.
Divorce rate.
Maybe not even divorce rate. Just
Sure.
okay. That's a good word to use. Unfortunately, and I hope that's okay. We talk about this. The divorce culture in the church is a hot topic right now as well. And because you're someone who's a member of the church and you've been divorced before, simply, without having to go in too deep. Oh man, how do I ask you this? There's two things I want to ask. Are you sure? I hope you just feel free to answer however you want. There's two things I want to ask.
Yeah.
Are you grateful that you were divorced?
I would say, oh, that is hard. I would say yeah. Everything happens for a reason, so.
What's something that you learned about yourself after you were divorced?
Something that I learned about myself after I was divorced. Just one thing.
Anything.
I learned a lot, like, about patience and communication. His communication can ruin a lot of good things. And I just learned what I wanted and what I liked and what I didn't like in a marriage and in a partner.
Okay. Um. So communication, right? Was that that's a big thing for
It's a
you?
big one. And luckily for us, since he was going to school to be a therapist, psychologist, he was really good at communicating and he can read me like a book. It was scary.
Mm.
So he never wanted to go to bed angry, which I really appreciated. But obviously, he was very patient with me because I'm not good at communicating my feelings. I'm better at writing it down. And then I'll come back to him and be like, okay, this is how I felt.
Okay.
So he was just very, very patient and very communicative. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'm asked this next question. I just feel like it would show a lot and help out a lot. Whether he sees this or not,
Yeah.
probably not. I'm hoping
He might.
he might. Of course, of course he might. But if you had to tell your ex-husband something,
Yeah.
what would you tell him?
What would I tell him? He's a really great guy. And whoever marries him is like winning the jackpot because he really is a great person and has a great family. And all he wanted was like the best. It makes me want to cry thinking about it. But we just didn't work out as like a couple. Things happened. Ended up getting divorced. But I'm very just like grateful for like how patient he was with me. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think that shows a lot of emotional maturity from you, Devin. And like I never wish anyone to go through something like that.
yeah.
But in my small like time getting to know you, like you're strong, bro. Like for real. And that's why I have a lot of respect for people who, go through something like that. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's always some like I feel like there's always some animosity when it comes to like breaking up or divorce and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because it ended bad or whatever. But you just like there was nothing like that from you. Just super nice and just super understanding. So you're not the only Mormon girl who's been divorced before
Yeah.
in the church. And
Yeah.
since you're strong
Yeah.
and I trust you, what would you tell someone who's young in the church who got divorced young like yourself? Help them out. What do you have to tell someone who's been divorced as a woman in the LDS church?
I would say it's going to be okay in the long run. I feel like you're going to find someone who understands you, no matter like why you're getting a divorce, because there are going to be so many reasons why. But just really hold on to your faith and cling on to your family because they will be there for you, and surround yourself with like good people that are going to uplift you and not talk crap with you about like your ex in whatever way. I don't know. But again, everybody can get a divorce for a reason. I don't know what that reason would be for, but honestly, I would just say everything's gonna be okay. Cause I was very like stressed out when I first like wanted to get a divorce, but things just ended up being fine in the end. And it's okay to go through a divorce. It's not a wrong thing. It's not something to be looked at as a negative thing. And I feel like as girls, we were so hard on ourselves and like maybe we were the reason why, but that is not 100% true. It just didn't work out and they weren't your person, and that's okay.
Somebody really wise told me this not too long ago, but sometimes when you feel like it's going good or going right, maybe you're just not that person's blessing.
Yeah.
And so I really took that to
Yeah.
heart, and I was like, wow, that's very profound,
Yeah.
So you just weren't his blessing.
Yeah, we weren't.
And then, but for me to you, just in our small time getting to know each other, and this is just for me to you, like, no, you deserve the world, and your blessing is out there, right? And not only that, but you'll be a blessing to somebody else as
Yeah.
well. Just anything you want to share about your testimony about Jesus Christ.
I love Jesus. He is so real, and I know that he's real because I know the difference between myself with him and without him. And he's very constant when we are not constant. And I think that's so important because when there's this quote that I really like, it goes like, we cannot fall lower than the light of Christ. And I think that's so true because sometimes when I felt like I was just having shortcomings after shortcomings, he was always there to pull me out of that. And it's amazing because he's the one who like pulls us out of the messes that we put ourselves in.
Jesus, right?
Yes, Jesus.
So we get ourselves into these messes, and what does he do?
He's there to pull us out. He's our hand. And I think that's so amazing because without him, I don't know where I'd be. And I'm so happy that I walked both lives with him and without him because I can just testify on both sides. And I think it's just so amazing that his love is everlasting. Even when we can be selfish and walk away from him, but he will always be there. So just him being constant is such a good feeling, and we can come back no matter how far we walked away from him.
We need more members like you, respectfully.
Yeah.
We need your perspective. We need your light. And just thank you for being who you are.
Well,
I value our friendship, for real.
thanks for letting me be who I am.
Yeah, of course. Let's
Okay.
let's hear your chi-hoo and then we're done.
Chi-hoo. I can't chi-hoo.
We'll chi-hoo on 3 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Chi-hoo.
Chi-hoo! Thanks, guys. Like and follow and subscribe. And God bless you throughout the week. Love you guys. Mahalo.